Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Coming up on the show today, I'm doing a show on the Hype Sticker. Now, most people who collect records would know about the Hype Sticker. That's a sticker that is usually found on the front of a record, quite often on the shrink wrap, and it might be highlighting some of the songs on the albums, people in the band, other, information that might want you to, get you interested in buying the album. Of course, that's why it's called a hype sticker. It's hyping up the band, the release, the album, that sort of thing. So I thought I'd have a look through my collection and see if I can find some records that have hype stickers on them. I mean, the thing is, of course, a lot of the hype stickers from back in the day never survived because for exactly that, the fact that they were on the shrink wrap, and people would tear off the shrink wrap, unbin it, and then the hype sticker would disappear. But I know that there's a lot of people who really appreciate the hype sticker, and especially these days, if they're buying a new record, they try and save the hype sticker, and there's different various ways people do that. But yeah, I don't know if that was done so much back in the day. I don't know if people really appreciated the hype sticker that much, but they certainly existed. They're on a lot of records, but a lot of my records no longer have the hype sticker, but I have found some that do still have the hype sticker. So I'll just go through and show you some. So first up, The Final Countdown by Europe. Now this has a hype sticker on it that says, including the hits, The Final Countdown, Rock the Night, and Kerry. So here it is here. Now this was often a thing with the hype sticker. It would use the word hit. It contains the hit or hits. In this case, that's pretty much right. Like, this was a successful album, and those songs were pretty much hit songs. So, at least fairly successful. So that's not a lie. Now, it was possible too that because this album was successful, it got repressed. So, and then, when it was pressed and the sticker was produced, they did already know that these songs were successful. But of course, what often happens is they're making the albums, they're making the stickers before it's even gone out to the shop. So they don't actually know that necessarily that these songs are hits. But it still does not stop them from saying it's a hit. So a good example is a fairly obscure band. This is a band called Diamond, and their hype sticker, I like the fact that their hype sticker is like a mirror because it says features the hit single Mirror Mirror, and it's like a mirror. It's pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure if you go to walk down the street and go, hey, what about Diamond in that song Mirror Mirror, Mirror Mirror, most people wouldn't know what you're talking about. And I don't think it was a hit. I mean, I've never heard of it being a hit. It's a pretty obscure band. It's a band called Diamond. But there we go. And that's what would happen. So they'd hype up the single, and often hyping it up would be by saying it's a hit, even if it wasn't a hit. And of course, sometimes it does end up being a hit, and they get lucky in the sense of like, oh, the sticker says it's a hit, and actually it is a hit. But I guess they're saying it's a hit because they want people to go, oh, it's got a hit song on it. Maybe I should get it. Here's another one advertising some of the songs that are on the album. So this is Alien, and it's featuring Tears Don't Put Out the Fire. That was the first single. So that's sort of in the bigger bigger letters. That was the first single, but also it's hyping up Go Easy, I've Been Waiting, and then it says and much more. And it's also got, this is a little sticker that used to be on albums back in the day, and it says when you play it, you can't quite see that very well, but it says when you, and then it's got play it, say it. My understanding of that is it's just basically what they're wanting you to do. This was something that they were sort of trying to promote back in the day, is when you play the record, tell people about it. Hey, I've been playing Alien, Tears Don't Put Out the Fire. Have you heard that song? So I think that's the idea of it. That's just my thinking. I don't know for sure. It could also be that also if it goes to radio. It's saying to the radio people, if you put this record on, please tell everyone what the record is, and who the band is, that sort of thing. Now also this record has a little cut here, so this was a cutout, which means basically that's a sign of an album not perhaps being that successful, because it was put in the sort of the cutout bin. Another one. Also got Play It Say It. Also a cutout, which is a bit of a surprise. Mr. Big. This is Mr. Big's first album. Yeah, so it's got the When You Play It Say It sticker. It's a cutout. Hype sticker says, addicted to that rush, wind me up, big love, anything for you. So they haven't really committed to necessarily any one song in particular. I think Addicted to That Rush was the first single. Yeah, just sort of going over some of the songs. Sometimes too, they'll mention songs because they're not really sure what's going to be released as a single. So let's just mention 3 or 4. 1 or 2 of them are probably going to be a single. So then at least if it does become a hit, people will see that song is on the album. But yeah, so at least they're being honest. They're not saying, "Oh, includes the hit song Addicted to that Rush," because they don't know that it's going to be hit, and because it probably wasn't. I think this went gold in Japan because these guys are big in Japan, but it didn't certify in the States. I think it sold about 300,000, which is still not bad. Of course, their next album, much bigger, much more successful. Of course, had the big hit To Be With You. All right. Next one. Now, this one is an example of the hype sticker surviving because it's actually still got the shrink wrap on it. So see, it's still got the shrink wrap on it, which gives the chance of the hype sticker surviving, a much greater chance. And this hype sticker actually has a lyric from the song Notorious. Every mother's nightmare, every schoolboy's dream. Na 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 Notorious. Yeah, so that's I think that's how it goes. And it contains the smash hit Notorious. So they're calling it not just a hit, it's a smash hit, which is really pushing it a little bit. I mean, it was fairly successful. I think it did go top 40, but I don't think it was like a top 10 or anything. Also featuring Love Will Rise Again and Don't Let Go. I'm pretty sure Love Will Rise Again was the second single. I like that song. Not so fussed about Notorious. Just another thing that would be on the hype sticker, sometimes the lyrics. And that, again, I guess the point of that is it's like, oh, yeah, that song. Yeah, that's like Every Mother's Night. Oh, yeah. If you're in the record shop and you see that and you go, oh, yeah, I've been singing that. Maybe you heard it on the radio. That's I think the thinking behind that. All right, next one, Stone Fury. Now, again, they're saying contains the hits. Break Down the Wall, Life is Too Lonely. So not just one hit, there's supposedly 4 hits on this album, but I don't think any of them really were hits. I mean, Break Down the Wall, I think, was the first single. Of course, this is their debut album from Stone Fury. Burns Like a Star is the name of the album. And this is the album. This features Lenny Wolf on vocals, who goes on to form Kingdom Come. Now, that album was a bit of a hit, but this one not so much. But, like I say, they don't know necessarily how successful the album or songs are going to be. So sometimes they'll just say it's got hit songs even before they know that it is or isn't going to be a hit. And also, this one's a promo stamp. So sometimes you might see albums that have this on it for promotional only. Sale was unlawful, which I always thought was funny because I bought heaps of these. So no one's come and arrested me either, or arrested the people I think that sold it to me. So that's a bit funny, but yeah, it's for promotion though. In theory, that's the idea of it. It's sent to the record shops, but they always end up getting sold. So there we go. This is that. Now, this one here, this is Crocus and Heart Attack. So this just has, at least being honest here, not saying it's got any hit singles on it necessarily, but it features Let It Go, Everybody Knows, Rock and Roll Tonight. Now, what's interesting about this is I looked at the hype stick and I thought, Everybody Knows? I don't know about that song. So looking at the back, it's like, yeah, there's Everybody Rocks, but there is no song on here called Everybody Knows. So yeah, they kind of got the hype stick a little bit wrong there because there is no song called Everybody Knows. But anyway, you get the idea, I suppose. But yeah, that's kind of funny. All right, next up, we've got a few now where they're just hyping up the one song, and they're not even necessarily saying it's a hit. It's a single though. So in this case, it's AC/DC, Fly on the Wall, and they're saying includes the single Danger, and it's got a little danger sign here, which is kind of cool. I'm pretty sure this would have been on the shrink wrap. most likely, and someone's actually gone to the effort or on the outer sleeve or something and stuck it on here. Pretty sure that's what's happened, because you don't see this very much. Yeah, and so it's kind of cool. It's good to have, kind of cool to have that. But yeah, they're just saying it contains a single. We don't know if it's hit single, but that single, Danger, which actually really wasn't much of a hit. This was one of their lesser successful albums, wasn't it? But good album. But yeah, so there's that one. And then another big band, so that was AC/DC. Now Kiss, they have a hype sticker for Hot in the Shade, and their hype sticker says, includes the single, includes single, Hide Your Heart. That's all it says, just here. Again, most likely someone stuck that on. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I would doubt it was actually on the actual album itself. So like I bought the second hand and you buy it brand new back in the day or anything. So I imagine it was on the shrink wrap, someone peeled that off and stuck it on the album, on the actual front cover of the album, the actual cardboard part of it. But yeah, and of course the single Hide Your Heart was like one of 4 or 5 bands that or artists that had that song on their album. Next one, a band called Silent Rage, and they're saying this on their hype sticker, featuring Make It or Break It, which I thought was interesting because I always thought the big song on here was Rebel with a Cause, but maybe that's on the next album, because on the next album they have Rebel with a Cause on their next album as well. And there is a video released for that, so maybe that wasn't pushed so much on this album, and it was Make It or Break It. But also says as heard on KNAC, yeah, which I remember hearing about that back in the day. I think that was quite a high-profile radio station. So that actually played this kind of music, I guess. So for some people that would be a big deal. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard it on that station, or they get played on there, so I like that station. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna like this band. But yeah, next one. This is a bit of an obscure band, but their album's produced by Beau Hill. On Columbia. But you don't see this shown very much or talked about. This is Brian McDonald Group. Now, again, because it's still in the shrink, a lot of the stickers and everything have survived. Although, actually, the BMG Deliver sticker is not on the shrink, so it's actually inside. On the shrink, it does have $2.99, so fairly cheap, isn't it? But BMG Delivers, it says, classic hard rock destined to become hard rock classics, featuring the hit single, Life is a Desperate Business. Okay, yeah, well, wasn't a hit, but so Brian McDonald Group, it's actually not bad. It's pretty good if you like your sort of 80s hard rock. It's worth checking out. There he is there. Didn't see moustaches very much in the late 80s, so this is 87 when this came out. But yeah, and actually also another sort of hype sticker here. So on the back, it's then got a whole lot of information. So I'm not going to read it all out, but it's basically a little bio. The Brian McDonald Group have been playing together since the summer of 1982. Yeah, touring under the name Dillinger, the band's hard-hitting lyrics and hard-working Midwestern attitude soon made them a regional favourite. It just keeps going on like that. So, yeah, sometimes you'd see these kind of hype stickers, which I think probably were more on the weren't on the records that people would go out and buy, but like a lot of the sort of promotional ones, perhaps, yeah. But, there we go. There's that one. Next one, this is Kix and Midnight Dynamite. Now, this is actually another cutout. There's a little cut here. Still got the shrink. It's got the Give the Gift of Music sticker. I don't know if people remember that one. A sticker from back in the day. I remember seeing that sometimes. But also, it's got the Super Saver Series sticker. So actually, it's not really good. This is not actually so much hype stickers because there's no hype sticker on here as such. But I thought it was interesting because it's got the Give the Gift of Music sticker and the Super Saver Series sticker, which is kind of like means this was being sold at a slightly cheaper price. So CBS had a similar one. CBS Records, you might have seen a sticker saying nice price. I had a nice price sticker on it. So it's kind of a bit like that. So, so you could actually pick the record up just a little bit cheaper. I'm not sure how that worked out. If that was just when the album first came out, or maybe it came out, wasn't that successful, or I don't know, just decided to do a promotion or something on some albums, and then they put them out with the sticker on. It would be just a little bit cheaper. But yeah, there we go. Fix. Another interesting again, this is not a hype sticker, but it's like an interesting promo type thing. So this is Shark Island and their album Law of the Order, and this one has a buy three get one free offer. Epic rock. Closing date June 30th, 1990. Okay, so you had to get it done before then, so I'm too late. There the guys are at the back. But what it was is, let's have a look at this thing here. If you purchased 3 of these albums, you then send in your voucher here. So that you have to cut this out. There's a voucher right here. Cut this out, send your 3 vouchers in, and I guess they would send you the record that you chose. And it could be any one of these 8 records here. So you had Burning Tree, Donnie Miller, Nuclear Valdez, the Shark Island, which is this one, Prong, Sanctuary, Killer Dwarfs, or Johnny Crash. I wouldn't mind the Johnny Crash one if it was me, but then I've already got it, so I probably wouldn't choose that one now. But that's a good one. I mean, actually, a lot of good ones here. I mean, Killer Dwarfs, Prong. I mean, yeah, lots of good stuff actually. Donnie Miller, I've got that one. But yeah, so tailored to people who like sort of hard rock or metal as well. So there's not a big deal, is it? Buy 3, get 1 for free. Pretty good. Next one. Now I'm just going to show some that have not so much hype stickers. Well, it's a bit of a mixture, really. In this case, it's also promoting a tour that the band is doing. So this is Glass Tiger, and so it does hype up the albums because it's got including singles My Town, Blinded, Animal Heart, which I like. Animal Heart and Blinded, they're both really good songs. On tour with Roxette. So just promoting that, and then where they're playing and the dates just written in there as well. So yeah, so you see that sometimes King of the Hill also did that. So on tour with Extreme, might be quite hard to read that, but yeah, and then it's got the dates that they're playing. This is not a band that sort of stuck around for too long, but I can imagine them going out with Extreme, kind of similar sort of a sound. Yeah. All right, so now I've got some hype stickers here where they're advertising the fact that the person in this band used to be in another band. So you might go, oh, okay, this person was in that band. I like that band. Maybe I should check this out. So Rhett Forrester, this is his debut solo album, Gone with the Wind. Now, it's got a little clipping cut here on the bottom corner. So it's a bit like the cutouts, sort of, but yeah, basically it didn't sell, so it got clipped and it sort of goes in the sort of delete bin sort of thing. So it's basically selling it off pretty cheap. So yeah, still got the shrink wrap on it. And then yeah, so the hype's like Flash, exclamation, 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 X-Riot lead singer, kicks ass solo. Yeah, he's not bad either. I don't mind a bit of Rhett Forrester. Pretty good. Assume the Position, that's the one to check out. But yeah, some pictures of him at the back there. But yeah, it's all nice and glossy because the shrink wrap's still all on it. But yeah, so there's art sticker there. And again, this one also promoting the fact that this person used to be in another band. Lou Gramm, of course, of Foreigner, so the debut solo album of Foreigner, and also they're talking about the first single, Midnight Blue, which actually was a bit of a hit. It was quite successful for him. And it just says features the first single, Midnight Blue. And it has this direct metal mastering, DMM. I used to see that heaps back in the sort of 80s. And if anyone knows really what that meant, if it meant anything, but I was like, oh, it must sound really good because it's got DMM. But I guess I might have to Google that later, whatever that means. But there we go. That's another hype thing, right? Hyping it up. It's got DMM. So, yeah, it must be good. Now, Lou Gramm again, this time hyping up the fact that he's now in a band called Shadow King. And they're not just talking about him. They're also, of course, going to mention the fact it's got Vivian Campbell. So they talk about the fact that, he's from Whitesnake and Dio. And it mentions the other 2 members as well, who are, not necessarily quite so well known, but they mention them as well. But this is a good album. Okay, another hype sticker talking about a band where the band members have been in more sort of well-known bands beforehand. So The Storm featuring ex-members of Journey and Santana. Yeah, so if you like those bands, maybe you might like this. Definitely, if you like Journey, good chance you would like this actually. Yeah, pretty good. Produced by Bo Hill. Yeah, last few here. Oh no, there's a few more, but these ones here are where they've sort of, you might remember sort of, and it still kind of happens, but I definitely remember in the 90s, early 2000s, a lot of the time you'd buy a CD, usually a CD in the 90s, early 2000s, because records were sort of not so popular or common. It would have parental advisory type stickers or something like that on it. And that sort of didn't happen that much with the 80s hard rock metal scene very much, but there was a bit of a push for that to happen, because that's where the PMRC sort of came in and got involved a little bit. But it never really took hold until later on, and actually to a large degree, it just became like a hype sticker. But it actually became, well, gee, if it's got like offensive language, I want to get it. Teenagers especially, that's the way they're going to perhaps be thinking. It sort of promoted it rather than sort of made people less wanting to get it. But so this Guns N' Roses album has warning. So I don't even know if this is not like, it's almost a bit of a joke, really. This record contains material that may be offensive to someone out there. So they're not like warning you, really, like, hey, if you're like a really sort of stuck up kind of person, then yeah, this might offend you. Otherwise, if you're cool, don't worry about it. And so it's got that one, and actually the Motley Crue one here has it's exactly the same one. This record contains material that may be offensive to someone out there. Yeah. And this one, similar, this is Smash Gladys, Social Intercourse, similar but different, contains lyrics which may be offensive. So they're taking it a little bit more seriously. They're like giving you a bit of warning. I don't actually remember this being necessarily particularly offensive, but maybe I haven't read the lyrics that closely, but there we go. All right, now also soundtracks would sometimes have hype stickers. This one needed a hype sticker, to be honest with you. This is Shocker and the soundtrack to Shocker. So they're actually saying on the hype sticker, it's a heavy metal soundtrack. Yeah, good idea, because if you look at the back, there's like no information about the bands. You just think, oh, it's some orchestral kind of, it's not rock, it's instrumentals or things like that. You wouldn't know, right? I mean, it's got a very small writing down here. I just don't think you'd even know that it was a heavy metal soundtrack unless you happen to know. So it's telling you it features Megadeth, Iggy Pop, Alice Cooper, appearances, by Paul Stanley, Kiss, Tommy Lee, Motley Crue. So the hype sticker is actually quite useful here for giving you that information. Still not that much information here because it's got the song titles but none of the bands. But yeah, good soundtrack. Oh, such a good movie. Another soundtrack, Beach Balls. Yeah. The hype sticker here says a rock party from Los Angeles with a parade of new bands vying for stardom, which is pretty much true. So it's a whole lot of sort of lesser known sort of rock, hard rock, a bit of hair metal type bands in here. So you got Hans Naughty, Puss in Boots, Dr. Star. You'd have to be a real hair metal connoisseur to go, oh, Hans Naughty, yeah, I know them. I do know them, but some of them even I don't know, like Strut, maybe, but Mox Nix. Castle Black, I know. Black Monday, I think so. So yeah, there's some real obscure bands on there. But yeah, with checking out, I think it would have been good. On the back, they just had the girls again, which I'm sure is a bit of a selling point, perhaps. But I think it would have been better if they'd had some pictures of the band, or something like that in there, of the bands that were on the album. But I mean, it's a low budget movie, pretty low budget soundtrack, I think, as well. Yep. Now, next one, Great White. So it's got a pretty cool hype sticker on it. Quite a lot going on here. It says new 8-track album from Great White. I don't know what this means, but of pre-apocalyptic celebrations, salutations, and consternations. Whatever. I don't know why that's in there. Featuring Face the Day, Shake Me, and Give Me Some Lovin'. And it even tells you the suggested retail price, $8.98 suggested list price. Also available on cassette, and if you buy it on cassette, you get a bonus Great White logo sticker. So there we go. And there's the guys on the back. And I mean, he's got a gun. Is that really necessary? And I think he might have a pull stick. Was that his drumsticks? I don't know. Some unusual decisions being made there. But there we go. That's Great White. Next one. Obsession. Methods of Madness. Now again, still has a shrink on it, so that's a good chance I'll still have a bit of a hype sticker here. So hype sticker, yep, is on the shrink. And this actually has, it's very hard to read, quite hard to see. But it has information about the band. Just a quick little bio. Connecticut-based Obsession, is the name of the band, avoids gimmickry and delivers powerful, hard-edged metal, which is actually kind of true. This 5-piece metal outfit delivers some of the most powerful heavy metal I've ever heard. Okay, and that's from Bob Muldowney from Kick-Ass. I don't know who Kick-Ass is. I know who Kick-Ass is, but Kick-Ass, I don't know. But anyway, he likes it, and then it just tells you it's also available. And yeah, there's the guys at the back. For the Love of Money, that's a great song. But yeah, there we go. All right, next up, Hurricane. This is another cutout. See a little cut there. Over the Edge. So this has quite a bit of information on the hype sticker. So the shrink's still on here. So the hype sticker's still here. It says first full length. So you can see it's quite big. First full length album by Los Angeles' premier melodic hard rock band. And it's got a quote from Andy Seeker. That's his name. Anyway, the guy from Hit Parader. You might know him if you read Hit Parader back in the day. Wasn't one of my favorite mags. But yeah, he was like one of the main guys at Hit Parader. And he says, and I don't know if, if he's been promised like interviews or given money or whatever to say this. I mean, I'm not saying he was. I'm just saying you just don't know, right? But anyway, Hurricane displays all the qualities needed to be major stars in the hard rock world. Good songs, good playing, and good looks combined to make Hurricane a seemingly sure thing in the often unpredictable world of rock and roll. And it's co-produced by Bob Ezrin and Mike Klink, so some quite big name producers there. Not a bad album. I love their next one though even more. But yeah, they didn't really quite make it big. But here we go. Yeah, so nearly at the end. Just want to finish off with a couple of albums that have hype stickers, but what they're hyping is that if you buy this album, you get something extra. You get a little bit of bonus stuff. And this is the debut Icon album right here. And it's hyping up, contains free limited edition poster. Okay, so if you come in here, open it up, you not only get the record, but you also get this poster of the guys. Here they are. There we go. Yeah, and it's actually got, credits and production information down here as well. So it's almost like an insert, but it's like down as a big poster. So yeah, so you still got who produced the album, who did the songwriting, all that stuff. It's down the bottom, which is a bit, if you wanted to put the poster up, I don't know if you necessarily want all that on the poster, but yeah, there we go. Looking quite glam metal there, quite hair metal. They toned their image down a little bit on the next album, or quite a bit actually. And for me, this is probably their most metal album, but I actually much prefer the next one and the one after that. But, that's just me. Right, and then this one here, this is not an album. This is like a 12-inch single from Shy. But they're hyping up that if you buy this, you get a free logo stencil. Okay, so you get a free logo stencil. It's actually a gatefold too. This is like back in the day, they'd have 12-inch singles sometimes would be gatefolds. It'd be pretty fancy sort of packaging. It's just for the single, and it's only like 3 songs on this, but yeah, it's a big gatefold. And yeah, it comes with this stencil thing here. So I guess what you put it up the right way. I don't know how you guys can see it best, but basically, yeah, you could then colour all that in. You could take it to school, and you could, if you were going to school, wherever you go, And yeah, you could stencil in Shy and create your own logo for Shy. So it's cool to have little bonus things like that. Probably not something I'm going to do, get it out and start, stenciling Shy, but still, it's fun. Yeah, and there we go, and that's it. I'll just finish off with the fact that hype stickers, they've been around for a long time, but they still exist. So this is one of my more recent purchases from a band that's just put out this album. It's called Godzillionaire. Godzillionaire is a band called Otherwise, and it has a hype sticker. So they're still putting out hype stickers now. It says here, 1-2 punch of airtight guitar, stadium shaking grooves, and hypnotic, hard-hitting hooks. They haven't really changed much at all. They're still really hyping it up, really hyping up the release. Talking about the band, it's got the band name, Otherwise, and Godzillionaire at the top there. So, and then also talking about the fact that it's special edition on red vinyl, limited to 1,000, which is, a lot more common now these days with the different coloured variations and numbers and so forth. So, but yeah, still got a hype sticker, and that came out this year, just a month or two ago. So, yeah, so there we go. All right, so that's a bit of a look through my collection of records with hype stickers, and yeah, I found that interesting. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, because that's a way of finding out when I'm putting out new content. Let me know about hype stickers that you've got on your records, because chances are I may have the record, but I no longer have the hype sticker. Yeah, any other sort of promo things that you remember or have. And I will be back very soon. I've done 3 videos in 3 days, so I'm on a roll. So who knows, there might be another one tomorrow as well. So keep an eye out for that. All right, we'll catch you later. See ya.